When game developers decide to make games based on licensed properties, most people sigh in annoyance as many game developers almost often get it wrong. They mess with the storylines, characters, or simply fail to capture what made the property interesting in the first place. If you ask anyone to name a bad game based on these official properties, many of them will crop up. It's alarming how many of these games fail to succeed. Of course, for every bad game or free that try to capture the source material, some out there do it properly, such as the examples of games I have here. These games here not only capture the essence of the TV shows or movies, but in some cases expands on the concepts and turns the games either into canon material or even into original storylines exclusive to the games. Now, all this brings us to the year 2001 and the game in question today. It's the world's scariest police chases. This was based off the 1997 TV show starring John Bunnell. The show covered mainly insane police chases from the United States, and it was super successful thanks to its entertaining commentary and fast, intense action. After 6 episodes of this show, the world's wildest police videos took over, and this show would last until 2001, when this game was incidentally released. To help me in this undertaking, I'm bringing back one of my guests. She is an incredible content creator, and she is just also funny, just purely funny. You guys will love her. I welcome back Azalea22.
Hey Affro! And hi everyone! Azalea22 is back! And it is awesome to be here again. This time, the law is in our hands, and we have to take on those bad guys. So let's show them what we're made of, Affro, and let's get down to business.
Well, Azalea, I couldn't have said that any better myself. So, welcome back to Afro's Curiosities, and this is a closer look at the world's scariest police chases. The world's scariest police chases debuted on the Fox network back in 1997. Initially, it was a special hosted by actor Peter Coit and featured additional commentary by Captain C.W. Jensen of the Portland Police Bureau.
Pursuit starts out with an unknown ending. You're gonna start to sweat,
This TV special showcased some of the scariest police pursuits on TV at the time. This became popular, and so a further 5 episodes aired between 1997 and 1998.
Police can't follow him.
From the second episode onwards, retired police officer and former Sheriff John Bunnell hosted and narrated the rest of the show's run.
I'm Sheriff John Bunnell. I've been personally involved in pursuits for 26 years, and I've never seen anything that could be called a good pursuit.
He actually appeared on Cops and American Detective in the early 90s before appearing on World's Scariest Police Chases. His colourful and over-the-top commentary made Bunnell a favourite on the show, and thanks to him and the dramatic fast-paced format, the show would carry on as the world's wildest police video. Bunnell made his name on this show, and thanks to the popularity of it, Bunnell became wanted for other shows to host, such as World's Scariest Police Shootouts, Surviving the Moment of Impact, and World's Most Shocking Moments, all made in a similar way to World's Scariest Police Chases and World's Wildest Police Videos. World's Wildest police videos extended on what made World's Scariest police chases popular. It had much more variety of police clips, showing drug busts, undercover stings, robberies, and much more. It was also not as serious in tone compared to World's Scariest police chases. This show would attain widespread popularity for at least 3 years before being cancelled in 2002. Also, in 2001, its name was shortened to Police Videos for some reason. Maybe it was an attempt to be hip? In 2001, Unique Development Studios, known as UDS, Activision and Fox Interactive all teamed up to turn the hit TV show into a game. Unfortunately, finding any more information on the game proved to be a massive hassle, as there's not much about its development history. However, from what I could dig up, the game was first presented at E3 2000. The game was meant to be on the PC, PS1 and the Sega Dreamcast. However, only the PS1 version survived and was released in 2001. The PS1 version was redesigned with some of the features that were meant to be on the PC version. There was also meant to be a PS2 version by Sierra Entertainment, but again, it was cancelled. Then, some years later, World's Scariest Police Chases 2 was in development by Vivendi Games for the PS2 and Xbox consoles. Sadly, despite having images of it, which looks like an arcade game to me, this too was cancelled. A shame, as I think the concept of these games would have been ideal for a more powerful console like the PS2 and Xbox. But we have the PS1 version, so let's see what it's all about, and of course Azalea is new to this game, so I look forward to seeing what she thinks of this game.
Yes, I have never played a game where I am a police officer in pursuit. Sounded like lots of fun. And with a title like World's Craziest, or rather, Scariest police chases, how can you not be curious? I had to see what all the scary craze was here. The World's Scariest Police Chases is a mission-based driving game based on an actual TV series by the same name. World's Craziest, Scariest Police Chases, although they can get really crazy. There are 20 missions, with 4 being tutorial based. These are all played in a mode called Pursuit Mode. You have some assistance through communication by radio, where you receive mostly commands from the higher-ups. You do want to pay mind to them. Otherwise, they never do actually fire you, do they? The controls are mostly basic, where you press the X button to accelerate, square button to back up, circle for brakes, and you can even play your part more completely with the wonderful police siren by pressing triangle. This siren also serves purpose in the game though. Just as in real life, vehicles will pay mind to you and shift in the other lane. The tutorials do a nice job setting you up for the missions, which each have their own different objectives. At first, it kind of reminded me of those boring informational videos you're supposed to watch back in school. But hey, at least John Bunnell from the TV show is narrating here, and he seems pretty cool.
A disgruntled bus driver who lost his job and his family has snapped and hijacked a public bus full of passengers.
Then, after the 4 tutorial missions, it's time to take on the real bad guys. And how scary does it get? Well, you have drunk drivers, crazy media, or something more intense, such as bombs that you need to stop. The citizens' lives are in your hands. And these missions require much discipline and amazing driving skills. Yeah, you are not going to be getting anywhere if you do not follow your strict orders. No gunfire in the friendly neighborhood. It doesn't matter how skilled and safe you may be with your gun.
Unit 1, ceasefire.
Oh yes, there are different guns that you can shoot at the vehicles by using your L1 and R1 buttons. Oh yeah. Some missions require this, while others will only allow for damaging the vehicles by smashing into them. You also have a fear bar that fills up the longer you chase your suspect. At the very bottom of the screen, you will have the health bar for whichever vehicle you are in pursuit of. And not rocket science, but don't hit any trees along the way. Your vehicle will only withstand so much damage, as shown by the meter on the left here. Some missions can get a bit frustrating with needing to have very good handling on your vehicle, as to not get too much damage from hitting into anything, especially during those turns. And while needing to be careful of this, you will lose the mission if your distance is too far from the vehicle being pursued. The gun targeting system does take a moment to figure out, but not too difficult afterwards. Although there are occasional moments when I'm trying to shoot the bad guy, and somehow the citizen gets hit.
Unit 1, ceasefire.
You will know this by your wonderful police pals who tell you to put down your firearms. Disobey them, and you have to start the mission over. But hey, you still get to keep your job. John Bunnell is the main host of this show, and he is definitely one comical guy here.
When the crooks are carrying big guns and bad attitudes, skill and training aren't always enough. But you can bet these bank robbing, cop shooting menaces to society will be back. And the police will be right there to lock and load and send these bad guys away for a long, long time.
Keep your seatbelts fastened, everyone, because John Bunnell is in the house. The transition to video game is pretty neat, as it allows you to experience a hint of the feeling of being on the chase, without any actual real danger. Although, there aren't any dogs in the video game like there are in the show. There aren't any dogs in the game! There is also a free patrol mode, which can be helpful for getting a feel for the controls, or if you just want to take a tour of this beautiful city with the charming PlayStation 1 graphics.
Control,
But
we're now
we'll
heading
talk
north
more on
on
this
Euclid
mode later.
In high-speed pursuits, police officers face danger at every turn. Training, preparation, and readiness are what give law enforcement the edge over reckless and dangerous criminals. A split second or wrong turn can mean the difference between life and death. Your first challenge here at the Police Academy will be to master control of a powerful police cruiser.
In this first training pass, you will learn the basic handling of a standard police vehicle. Drive 2 laps within the given time limit. And if you knock over any object on the course, you will have to start again. Okay, rookie, step on it.
Alright folks, it's the first mission. In this, you simply have to do 2 laps of a basic course while avoiding hitting cones. Hit more than 2, you won't get to eat donuts on the job. Easy mission, but the handling can be tricky, so make sure you keep that police car in check, baby.
You did it! Great driving. You're on your way.
For the police, high-speed pursuits are a fact of life. The last thing fleeing fugitives care about is the safety of themselves and others. The only way to protect the innocent and the guilty is to rely upon instincts honed by intense training. This exercise will train you in the basics of stopping an escaping vehicle quickly and without risking the lives of innocent civilians.
Listen up. Complete this test in a convincing fashion, and you're on your way to graduating from the Police Academy.
Mission 2, Police Academy Basic Pursuits. This mission introduces you to the police chase. There is a vehicle you must pursue and damage, meanwhile staying close enough in distance to them. It was starting to feel like bumper cars because I kept hitting into everything. I don't like how much damage I get from just touching this fence here. This car likes to trick you, making you think they're about to turn one way while they quickly go in the opposite direction. They repeat the same pattern and take the same paths, so after playing it a few times, you can easily memorize where you need to go. Then, just charge into him. Wait, I won because he charged into me. No matter.
Good driving, rookie. You put him out of commission. Cuff him.
Using firearms to stop crazed and dangerous criminals is the toughest decision a police officer can make. But that's where training comes in. Sometimes using force is the only way to protect the innocent and preserve the peace. Knowing how to use your weapon is the only thing that counts when taking that final step. Out there on the streets, an officer only has a split second to make a decision and fire accurately.
Okay. In this test, you will need to use your firearms to stop a suspect from fleeing a crime scene. You will be driving a police sport utility vehicle, so watch out. It handles quite differently compared to the cruiser. Do not use firearms until you are cleared by control. Okay, officer, let's go.
In this training mission, you have to use your gun for the first time. As not all criminals will just pull over or may want you dead, it's ideal to know when it's time to use deadly force. Also, this mission makes you use the police SUV. Certainly good for this type of pursuit. Careful though, do not shoot until you get permission to do so from command. After that, grab the pistol and shoot.
Unit 1, you are free to use firearms.
As the pursuit goes on, the suspect will dump evidence, which, again, is very important for making these criminals get locked up behind bars. It's a fairly easy mission, but make sure you don't go overboard with a gun.
Well done. You've got the evidence. It looks like you're ready to hit the streets of Ashland.
When engaging in a high-speed pursuit, nothing is ever routine. Sometimes, though, police officers find themselves in situations so extreme their driving and shooting skills are pushed to the limit. And in order to survive, cops have to rely upon instinct, coordination, and creativity. The next exercise will challenge you to perform advanced driving maneuvers while firing efficiently and accurately at various targets.
Okay. Today you'll learn to use some advanced driving maneuvers. First, you'll drive along a track into a blind alley. Stop there and wait for my command. You will then back out, perform a 180-degree turn, follow the track, and shoot several targets along the road. Then, go for the goal. Go, go, go!
Mission 4, Police Academy Expert Pursuit. Back to the lovely cones. This is where you learn to stop, back up, and do a 180. Now you can drive with style. And don't hit anything. These guys don't like you touching their beautiful cones. But I kind of enjoy the cones on purpose and making them mad.
Officer, you have knocked over too many cones. You have failed this test.
It did take a moment for my driving to not be so crazy as well. Also, you are now presented to the targeting system. It was a little tricky for me at the start, so I ended up doing this one over a few times. I didn't realize what the exact controls and functions were until I experimented with it. After becoming familiar with how it works by pressing L1 to select your gun, up to adjust your aiming, then R1 to shoot, the targeting becomes pretty simple. It's easier than it sounds.
Well done, officer. You have passed this test. You are ready for patrol.
A 3-martini lunch has escalated into a boozed-up joyride through a peaceful residential neighborhood. With school out and children at play, police must respond quickly to prevent a terrible tragedy from taking place. There is no room for error when innocent lives are at stake.
Unit 1, we have received reports of a drunk driver in the Hemerson residential area. Be on the lookout for a black sports car. Respond immediately. Suspect is in the vicinity of a children's playground.
10-4, Control. Unit 1 is en route.
This is the first real mission of the game. Time to see if my training has paid off. A drunk driver has gone overboard with martini and is heading towards catastrophe, with school kids playing outside. Oh no! I also love how a helicopter is casually watching the suspect yet isn't saying anything about the driver. As you receive the order, you're not allowed to shoot the drunk, which would be great, but ramming it is then. Sadly, there's a darn bug where if you hit the drunk too hard, you receive more damage than him. So, I had to tap him gently and push him from side to side until eventually I disabled his vehicle. I think it's safe to say I nabbed this no-gooder. Remember folks, drink driving is bad. Very bad.
Control, this is Unit 1. We've apprehended the suspect. We're bringing him in. He'll need to sober up before we have a chat with him.
Unit 1, roger that. Well done.
Police training and instinct restore peace to this usually quiet neighborhood. And this drunk driver will be sleeping it off at the city jail. Gunning through heavy traffic, a crazed car thief starts his morning with a heavy dose of adrenaline. Pursuing a desperate criminal is always dangerous, but this high-speed pursuit is on a collision course with Monday morning traffic.
Unit 1, we have a report of a stolen car heading westbound on Ashland Highway. Car is a brown sedan, registration number Charlie Alpha 539. Do not use firearms. Repeat, no weapons. Innocent people may be in the car.
Charlie, Alpha 539, roger that, Control. No firearms. We're on our way.
Mission 6. Crazed Car Thief. This one may be the first one that I felt most frustrated with towards the start. Trying to follow the vehicle without losing sight of them takes a little bit to get the hang of. This is partly because you have obstacles such as trees, benches, and other vehicles that you need to avoid while maneuvering in some narrow lanes as well. Or maybe I just need to go back to the tutorial. How many times do they let me fail before they fire me here? Either they're very generous or just not a good company. Or maybe both. At this rate, I am not gonna make it as a cop. They said I was ready for this. I do not trust their judgment. Then, when you finally go in for the kill hit, you get destroyed by the vehicle. That is not the way this is supposed to go. Obviously, you need to be careful when damaging other vehicles, because you might wind up being the one who gets all smashed up instead. One thing I found irritating is how the game fails you because of your distance from the suspect. There were times when I was ahead of them, knowing already that they were going to come towards my direction. But it failed me anyway.
Control, this is Unit 1. We have the situation under control. Suspect is apprehended.
Unit 1, roger that. Well done.
After a dangerous game of cat and mouse, the cops put the clamps on this reckless criminal. The punk with no respect for other people's property will now become someone else's property in the city jail. Gangbangers held up in a motel engage police in a no-holds-barred death match. When good meets bad and neither side backs down, the results are explosive.
Control, this is Unit 1. Nothing to report. Over. It's a quiet night. A little too quiet.
Roger that, Unit 1. Your shift is over soon, so just... All units! We are under heavy fire! Repeat, heavy fire! Immediate backup! All units, report to West Chelham Road. Officers under attack. Officers down.
This mission means a lot, as I played this on a demo disc a lot back in the day. It ended up convincing me to get this game for myself. Anyway, a local gang engages police in a shootout which results in officers down. Only one thing to do: avenge your fellow police officers and take down the punks who dare to fire their guns at those who are meant to protect and serve. Thankfully, this is also the first mission where you can use your gun. Once you arrive, you can shoot at the suspect vehicle. The men try to flee, but my skills kick into overcharge. The suspects throw a shotgun from the car. Sadly, their driving skills are about as terrible as expected. They crash into a wall and can't free themselves. I shoot from a distance and they hit a citizen. This sealed their fate, and retrieving the weapon was child's play. Hope I get some donuts for a job well done.
Control, we found the weapon. It's a shotgun. We'll get it back to the station.
10-4, Unit 1.
These gangbangers were on a dangerous path of lawlessness and mayhem. Thanks to these brave officers, their train of tragedy was derailed and justice has been served. A disgruntled bus driver who lost his job and his family has snapped and hijacked a public bus full of passengers. Exhibiting a blatant disregard for his life and the life of others, this deranged, desperate driver is on a crash course with tragedy.
All units, we have reports of a Code 37 stolen city bus, last spotted in the downtown district. Approach with caution. Vehicle contains passengers. Over.
Unit 1 responding. Over.
Mission 8. Bus driver gone bad. Woohoo! It's the Keanu Reeves stage! Just like in the movie Speed, which stars Keanu Reeves, there is a crazy bus that you have to chase down. For a while, I wasn't sure exactly how to bring this bus down. The radio people wanted me to cease fire due to the public safety of the innocent lives on the bus.
Unit 1, cease fire and return to station. The captain wants a word. You fired a weapon without regard for public safety.
And oh, those radio people annoy me. But then again, they also humor me too. I wanted to be able to shoot, as I find it much easier to take the vehicles down that way. The intention here, though, is to stop the bus and not bust it up, baby. I had to speed up fast enough to get ahead of it before it reached the red objective area here.
Police officers are trained to deal with adversity. But when adversity involves a busload of innocent people, even the most hardened of cops is tested. You better believe police will work twice as hard to ensure nothing like this happens again.
But little did I know that this whole time, there was a fear meter that I somehow completely overlooked. It increases as you keep on the suspect. But hey, John Wick still saved the day in this one.
Control, this is Unit 1. We have the situation under control. Suspect is apprehended.
Unit 1, roger that. Well done.
When the disturbed and disgruntled are in the driver's seat, a police officer's wits are put to the test. Fortunately for these terrified passengers, these cops knew what they were doing, and the unemployed bus driver is now headed for a career behind bars. In the war on drugs, police are often required to go undercover to stop drug smuggling scum from bringing their deadly cargo to the streets. The challenge for these narcotic officers will be to stay close to their suspect without raising suspicion. Once the deal goes down, the law kicks in, and the pursuit is on.
Unit 1, this is Control. Suspect is heading north towards your position. ETA 15 seconds.
Roger that, Control. Keep your eyes open.
Yes, going undercover as a taxi driver, you have to follow a suspect who police believe is looking to distribute some kind of illegal drugs on the streets. This mission is hard. For one thing, you can be seen by the scum as you tell them. This is not a mission I like, as you have to stop everywhere, and the suspects stop randomly for no reason. It's as if they forgot how to drive or something. Definitely drug scum for you. When you do reach the exchange, the suspect gets pissed and shoots at you.
Control, suspect has come to a stop at the harbor. There's another vehicle here, a white limousine with the license plate Alpha Will 7591 Bravo.
Thank you, Unit 1. Good work. We are running the plates right now. Focus on suspect Leo Garcia and apprehend him as soon as he leaves. We'll take care of the limo.
Control, we are under fire. Suspect is firing at us.
10-4, you are cleared to return fire.
You have to chase him down and shoot back. This guy is going down, baby. Sadly, the man drops evidence, and if you take too long to take down the suspect, you will run out of time to get the evidence. Of course, as punishment for letting drugs run rampant on the streets, you have to start over if you fail any part of the mission. Joy! I do eventually beat the mission and put away this menace to society.
Control, we found the packet.
Well done, Unit 1. Excellent work.
This drug-running punk found out that the harder you run, the longer the arm of the law will reach. The only deals this narcotics pusher will be making are with the district attorney. A deadly traffic accident at rush hour on rainy streets. Police have to race against the clock to arrive at the scene, then escort the ambulance to the hospital through congested traffic to save the life of a critically injured patient.
Unit 1, we have a serious accident on the Washington Bridge northeast of your current location. Emergency units need immediate backup. Victim is seriously injured. Get there and escort the ambulance to the Southwest Mercy Hospital.
Mission 10. Race Against Death. This one was kind of a cool mission, actually. You have to get to the ambulance before the timer runs out. So after a few tries of getting acquainted with the roads, it becomes pretty easy. Then you have to escort the ambulance to the hospital.
Medical 34, we have arrived. We're ready to escort you.
Roger that. Let's go. There are only 2 hospitals that can offer the right treatment for the patient, so you better choose the closest one. Over.
Now, I like this idea, since it's different from everything so far. But it becomes annoying when the ambulance breaks into you, or just gets stuck. Especially because they seem to have no clue where you are, and then they'll just sit there. This itself isn't too bad, but I am literally in the same lane here, and not that far from them. If they cannot spot me, then they must have failed their eye exam on their driver's test, and shouldn't even be driving in the first place. You do have to be a little cautious with how you turn, and how fast and slow you go without being too slow as well. Otherwise, you're going to have a lost ambulance in your hands. Or wait, don't they know where they're supposed to go as well?
Patient is code blue. Get us there now. Alright, we got it from here. Thanks for the escort. Good work, Unit 1.
Once again, countless hours of training pay off. Determined police officers with nerves of steel push their finely honed driving skills to the limit in order to save the life of a critically injured accident victim. Like something out of a movie, a diabolical madman has taken the city of Ashland hostage. 4 bombs have been planted at different locations around the city, each set with a timer. What's worse, this psycho has made a game of it, taunting the police at every turn. The cops will be pushed to the limits before mass destruction is unleashed upon the innocent people of Ashland.
Unit 1, I have someone on the line who claims he's a terrorist. He specifically asked to speak to you. I'm patching him through.
Thanks, Control.
Officers, Lou Ferris is my name. Remember that, because in 5 minutes, the name Lou Ferris will forever haunt the memories of this stinking city. I've put together a little surprise for the fine citizens of Ashland. 4 bombs to cleanse this city of every last pathetic person who has taken something from me. Ashland Fire Department, Main Park, Union Bank, and Lincoln Market. It will all burn. There's no way you'll make it in time. Just let it happen.
Unit 1, we're running a background check on the name Lou Ferris. Over.
Roger that, Control.
Lou, are you still there?
Of course. Mine will be the last voice you ever hear.
Why are you doing this?
What? Killing guilty people?
killing innocent people, Lou.
They are not innocent. Oh no, not innocent at all. Each and every person in this forsaken city is guilty, and I'm handing down a sentence of fire.
The most despicable act is forced upon the city of Ashland. A terrorist by the name of Lou Ferris has taken the city hostage. He's planted 5 bombs around the city, and now it's up to us to stop this madman from causing devastation to this ever-loving community. Using a bomb squad truck, you have to get to the 5 bombs in each location before time runs out. If time runs out, you lose. If you hit any one of the bombs, you lose. If you wreck, you lose. Make a wrong turn? Yes, you lose! Needless to say, if this truck didn't Tokyo drift every time you turned a corner, or take forever to stop, this mission might have been fun. Instead, you are forced to use the map and use trial and error to figure out not only the right sequence of bombs to defuse, but learn any shortcuts possible while trying to take all corners as carefully as possible. I especially hate the last bomb, as you have to fly down from the park, and if you make even one mistake, you will not make it. The only reason I finally passed the mission was there were some ornaments I hit which slowed the truck faster than me just using the brakes alone. Yeah, if you haven't realised already, I don't like this mission too much. It's more difficult than it has any right to be. Anyway, for this, I deserve power to the city, please.
We're not gonna make it!
Great work, Unit 1.
With disaster averted, the city of Ashland can breathe easier. Thanks to the superhuman efforts of the police, a lunatic's murderous vision of destruction and chaos has been thwarted. Against cops like these, daring, deadly terrorists don't stand a chance. Police officers will often rely upon camera footage to help put dangerous criminals away. Sometimes, however, the media can hinder rather than help. Undercover officers prepare for surveillance of a drug deal when they discover an unwelcome guest, a news fan from the local television station.
Control, we are in position at the rendezvous point, waiting for suspects to arrive.
Roger, Unit 1. Wait for further instructions.
What the... Control, we have spotted a news van arriving in the immediate vicinity. Our operation has been breached. Over.
Let's see if I can draw them away from the area and then lose them. Let's take them for a ride.
Unit 1, try to lose the tail, then return to the rendezvous point before the suspect arrives.
Roger that. Piece of cake.
Mission 12. Nosy News Van. First of all, you have to lose the media. And we have all heard stories about how crazy the media can get. This one is no exception. I tried making sneaky turns around the poles and other vehicles in order to lose them. With some luck, I was able to escape them, and sometimes it didn't even make sense because of how close they were. And there are other moments where I just couldn't shake them off at all. I'd run into the poles or something else, or they just seemed to be magically attached to me. Oh gosh. This one was way more easy than it let on to be for me. After losing the media, I'm supposed to chase down this suspect.
Control, we're back at the rendezvous point. Over. Control, suspect approaching. Transaction has been executed.
Unit 1, apprehend suspect.
Roger. Control, suspect has seen us.
I spent some good time on it, especially since I didn't know I was supposed to damage the car in the first place. I winded up following it for a decade. All the way to the other side of the world. At least you get some nice views along the way. There was one unsuccessful mission due to distance, and I could still see the car. That's just cruel. That police lady is annoying me here. No concern for public safety. That's all I ever hear out of her. After knowing I had to attack the car, everything was finally starting to look up, and it was really not that bad.
Control, this is Unit 1. We have the situation under control. Suspect is apprehended.
Unit 1, roger that. Well done.
Despite a nosy news van and a hot-running, engine-gunning, drug-pushing punk, these undercover cops remain focused and fearless. With committed cops like these, drug smugglers will have to think twice before setting up shop in the city of Ashland. When your cargo is an informant, you can be sure he's a hot target. Police are called upon to transport this precious commodity from prison to the courthouse.
Control, the prisoner is in the vehicle. Over.
Roger that, Unit 1. Prisoner's name is Phil Bender, an informant. He's a key witness in today's trial at City Hall. Don't attract any attention. Take good care of him.
Thanks for the tip, Control. We'll take good care of the cargo. Over and out.
This is another mission I dislike. In this one, you have to escort a felon who is due to be tried for his crimes. Simple, right? Not when his two gang buddies are out for blood and want to kill you for doing your job.
Those two sedans have been following us since we left the prison.
Two vehicles will chase you down. One marked in yellow, which is faster than you and will ram you, and the other one in red, which will shoot you from a distance. There's very little cover and these guys somehow stick to you like glue, so you have to hang on, try and swerve and hope for the best, since there really is nothing you can do to defend yourself against the onslaught of attacks.
Control, we are under fire. We're getting out of here. Repeat, we are now on the run.
Roger that. Back up en route. All units in the vicinity of State Prison. Unit 1 needs immediate backup. Officers under fire.
I failed this mission countless times, and I can tell you, this is why we need real backup. I finally did it somehow. No idea what I did right, but never mind. I'm just glad I got that mission finished. Goddamn, these maniacs never stop.
Control, this is Unit 1. The situation is under control. We have arrived at City Hall. Prisoner is secured. Now we can squeal like a pig.
Roger that, Unit 1. Good work, officers.
High-profile informants evoke desperate measures from desperate criminals. Fortunately, this stool pigeon is protected by cops willing to sacrifice their lives in the fight against organized crime. A disturbed military veteran and his militia member brother have hijacked two military tanks and are rampaging through downtown. Police are forced to use heavy weapons to slow down these road-raging siblings until the arrival of the urban assault vehicle, an armored police tank built to handle extreme and deadly situations like this one.
Control, this is Unit 1. We need an update on suspects' locations. Please advise.
Unit 1, suspect should be appearing on your city map. Now.
Got it. Heading for the casino area. Over.
Good luck, officers.
This one I almost got early on, but then it became a struggle because the tank always wanted to shoot me down and ended up taking me a while. You need to take that tank down without allowing it to blow the city up or your cop vehicle. Its aim changes in accordance with where you drive, which I honestly didn't realize at the very start. This is important to be aware of so you don't get blown to smithereens. Shooting at its side seemed to be a helpful tactic here for me. Yes, finally!
Control, this is Unit 1. We got him. He's out of the game.
Roger that, Unit 1. His brother is still in play. A police urban assault unit has arrived. Transfer to that vehicle. Over.
Roger that.
Are you kidding me? There's more? Oh my goodness. This felt intense. Now I have to transfer to a tank. But I'm too scared to be happy about the fact that I'm driving an awesome tank because it took forever to finally get here. Carefully, I shoot down the other tank and boom, it's over. Oh, phew.
He's out of commission.
Great work, Unit 1.
When tanks run amok through crowded city streets, the cops are left with no choice but to fight fire with fire and bring out the heavy artillery. Fortunately for the city of Ashland, these dishonorably discharged deviants were stopped before the results became truly tragic. Officers are on the tail of a suspect involved in a prior bank robbery. There is nothing routine about police pursuits. These situations can change at any minute, and police have to be ready for anything.
Control, we have the suspect in sight. We'll take him down. Over.
10-4, Unit 1.
A massive giveaway with the title here, but in every pursuit, anything can come up. What starts as chasing a bank robbery suspect suddenly turns into a dance with death. The red sports car isn't getting away from me, being that I'm a great pursuit driver. However, his buddies don't like me shooting at their friend and return fire to make me know what it feels like to be shot at while running.
Hold on, what's happening? Reverse, it's an ambush! Go, 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 go! Control, this is Unit 1, we're under fire. Repeat, we are under fire. 2 armed vehicles have ambushed us. We're pulling out.
Unit 1, get out of there. Proceed to the nearest precinct. Sending backup, over.
Like the stall pigeon mission, 2 cars will chase you and again, one will ram you while the other one shoots. This mission is a bit more fun as you can be more creative, there's more obstacles to try and make the suspects crash, and the distance to safety is much shorter too. I still lost as the gangbangers corner me and I wasn't able to break free.
Control, officers down! Need immediate backup and a paramedic, over!
Roger that. Remain where you are. Backup is on its way.
A police pursuit turned ambush leaves 2 officers down and their vehicle a mangled mess. Fortunately, these cops have long lifelines and memories to match. You can bet the tables will be turned the next time they meet up with these maniacs.
The second attempt was way better, even though the shooter tried to play double duty as he shot my car and ran me. Calamity, baby! I escaped with my life intact, and if these no-gooders show up, I will end them.
Control, we are at the precinct. We have evaded the suspects. Over.
That's good news, Unit 1. An APB has gone out on the suspects. Over.
When the pursuer becomes the pursued, a police officer's perspective changes from catching bad guys to just surviving. For these officers, their extensive driving training and thorough knowledge of the streets of Ashland gave them the advantage that meant the difference between life and death. An escaped convict is on the loose, and a desperate flight for freedom is wrought with reckless indifference to the safety of others.
Control, this is Unit 1. We are 10-8, returning to patrol. Over.
Roger that, Unit 1.
Whoa, that guy's in a hurry. Let's go.
Control, this is Unit 1. We are in pursuit of a red sedan, license plate Tom, Union X-ray 584, heading west.
Roger, Unit 1. Be advised, suspect just escaped from prison. He is considered armed and dangerous. Proceed with caution.
Affirmative.
Mission 16. Jacked Up Jailbird. This mission felt very basic. Everything you've learned up to now should come in handy and make this one no problem at all. You do need to be careful with the narrow turns and lanes, otherwise these small areas will become your worst enemy. Pretty simple though. You have to take this guy down before he makes it to the mall.
Control, suspect heading for the shopping center. This could be bad if he makes it to the mall.
It turned out to be a close win here for me, but it's definitely one that you can easily get after being acquainted with the turns and area well. Just need to have good control.
Control, this is Unit 1. We have the situation under control. Suspect is apprehended.
Roger, Unit 1. Great work. Units are en route to assist you.
Fueled by the promise of freedom, this single-minded escapee led police on a daring pursuit of reckless abandon. There was only going to be one outcome, and now this jacked-up jailbird is going back to his real home, prison. Police receive a tip that the Mad Bomber has returned. This time he plans on crippling the city of Ashland by blowing up the power plant. It's a race against time, and you can bet the cops won't stop until this career terrorist is behind bars.
Control, this is Unit 1. We are en route to Ashland Power Plant. Over.
Roger, Unit 1. Exercise extreme caution. Suspect is armed and dangerous. Bomb squad is in transit. Over.
I had a feeling we'd hear from Lou Ferris again. We'd better step on it. There isn't much time.
The terrorist Lou Ferris has decided to make another attempt to cripple the city by trying to take out the power plant that feeds the city. This mad bomber will not escape this time, however. That being said, getting to the power plant takes time, over 4 minutes. Getting there with time to spare, Lou Ferris takes off.
Control, this is Unit 1. We are at the power plant. Control, suspect escaping in a sedan. License plate 1, Adam, Tango, 6, 9, Charles. Over.
Roger, Unit 1. Locate the bomb.
I have to find the bomb quickly before it either goes off or Lou Ferris gets away. Luckily, I got the bomb fairly quickly and catch up to Lou Ferris.
Control, we have the bomb located.
Good work, Unit 1. Initiate pursuit of suspect. Over.
Roger that.
Getting him was easy, and even though he was a fast driver, it didn't save him from ending up behind bars. Safe to say, Lou Ferris is not going to leave prison, ever! Take that, you menace to society.
Control, this is Unit 1. We have the situation under control. Suspect is apprehended.
Unit 1, roger that. Well done.
Perseverance and tenacity are the trademark of good police officers. Refusing to give up finally pays off, and a bomb-happy terrorist is off the streets and behind bars. Bank robbers have boldly struck a bank downtown in broad daylight. But mayhem breaks out when they find police ready to greet them at the door. They have to scrap plans of a getaway down Easy Street and resort to a desperate, adrenaline-fueled flight with an arsenal of weapons to clear the way.
All units, we are under heavy fire at Hilton Bank on Waterloo Street. We need immediate backup.
All units proceed to Waterloo Street. 211 in progress. Officers in need of assistance. Code 3.
All units, suspects fleeing in 2 separate vehicles.
Unit 1, we're not sure which vehicle contains the money. It's a judgment call. Over.
Mission 18. Brazen Bank Bandits. Try saying that fast. Previous missions feel like they prepare you for this one. You start out by having to make a choice on who you'll pursue first. Red or yellow. You must choose, Neo. I was going to go with red at first, but since yellow seemed more convenient to my location, that's what I went with. And no, that's not the correct vehicle. Shouldn't surprise me, since this game does feel it likes to toy with you sometimes.
Control, this is Unit 1. Blue van has been stopped. Situation under control. Suspects apprehended, but no evidence of stolen money. Over.
Roger, Unit 1. Backup is on the way. Begin immediate pursuit of red sports car. Over. Visual contact with red sports car has broken off. Looks like they've got the money. Return to station for debriefing. Over.
You want to go with red since they got the money. Then you must pursue the van and take them down in a timely manner afterwards.
Control, this is Unit 1. Red sports car has been stopped. Situation under control. Suspect is apprehended and the money has been recovered.
Good work, Unit 1. Backup units on the way. Continue pursuit of suspects in blue van. Over.
There is definitely an intensity with some of these missions. After you feel like you've accomplished everything, they like to surprise you with even more. Now I have to obtain evidence in a timely manner. Why does there have to be a time limit to getting the evidence anyway? Is someone else going to steal it right away? Thankfully, I was within good area and distance to obtain that evidence in a timely manner.
Control, we found the weapons.
10-4. That's good police work, Unit 1. Bring them in for investigation.
Police officers face long odds when battling armed and dangerous criminals with an arsenal of weapons rivaling a third world army. But training, perseverance, and a bulldog mentality can help to even the odds and put these brazen bandits behind bars. A police stakeout requiring officers to pose as pizza delivery men is interrupted when an escaping hostage taker flies by in a blue van. The pursuing officer has wrecked his vehicle and calls for backup from the only other unit in the area, who incredibly picks up the chase in a pizza delivery truck.
Unit 1, this is Unit 2. We are in need of immediate backup. We were in pursuit of a blue van. The suspects took 3 people hostage and are now fleeing. Hostages are free, but our vehicle is disabled. Please pick up pursuit.
Roger, Unit 2. We will pick up pursuit to the best of our abilities. Over.
10-4, Unit 1. Thanks.
Control, we have visual contact. Suspects just passed by. We are engaging.
An annoying punk decides to run from the law while I try to go undercover as a pizza delivery guy. The blue van appears in my gun sight and damn, he's a quick one despite driving a van. He tosses a gun from the car, so I know straight away I need to end the chase immediately. After all, an armed suspect who took hostages earlier in the chase could do it again. No chance with me on the force, baby. It took me a while to disable the suspect, but when I do, I drive like the wind to collect the evidence. A successful mission in a pizza delivery truck? I deserve a lifetime amount of donuts for a job well done. At this rate, I'll retire with the world at my feet. Am I right?
Control, this is Unit 1. We have the situation under control. Suspect is apprehended. We're going after the gun.
Unit 1, roger that. Well done.
Control, we have the gun.
Well done, Unit 1.
The last thing this running renegade expected was to see a pizza delivery truck in his rear-view mirror. But these weren't your everyday pizza delivery men. These were highly trained police officers, and the only thing they're delivering is this surprise suspect to the city jail. The Mad Bomber has escaped from prison and is on his way to the airport in a heavily armed and armored limousine. There are times when the police have no other choice than to use brute force. When wrong is on a collision course with right, it's time for the cops to take off the gloves.
All units, this is an all-points bulletin. Be on the lookout for one Lou Ferris, just escaped from the city jail. Approach with extreme caution. Suspect is heavily armed and extremely dangerous. Last seen heading westbound on Ashland Highway in a white limo.
That's it. I am sick and tired of this idiot. Let's step on it.
Mission 20. Final showdown. I spent plenty of time redoing some previous missions over and over and over. So, how hard is this very last one? I just have to shoot down the suspect. Is this for real? I did get some assistance from police officer John over here.
And did you know he likes to name his toilet Bruce?
Unfortunately, he's just too weak for this, so it's all in my hands. Honestly, he just makes matters worse by causing the suspect to speed up. But no matter, I have this one easily in the bag. There's no extra tasks here either? Wow, this was my quickest mission out of them all. This felt more like a reward for all the hard effort I've done thus far. It felt so easy, it took me a whole 3 minutes. It looks like all that hard work paid off. Maybe there could be a police career of some kind in my future after all.
Control, this is Unit 1. We have the situation under control. Suspect is apprehended.
Roger, Unit 1. Great work. Units are en route to assist you.
Pushed to the extreme limit of law enforcement, These fearless officers finally subdue their nemesis, using a combination of skill, brute force, and speed. For the convicted terrorist, escaping from prison was a big mistake, and one that he'll pay for in decades added to his sentence.
Thank you for joining us on this wild ride through the lawless city of Ashland. I'm Sheriff John Bunnell. See you next time on World's Scariest Police Chases.
Free patrol mode. Here you get to choose from among different vehicles, then explore the city. You can pretend to be a regular citizen, or go all out and show your true colors with the police vehicles.
Go get him!
There are random vehicles that become suspects for you to chase down or shoot, basically however you want to handle the situation. You can even hurt the citizens here if you so choose, but don't go blaming me if you lose your badge for it. These guys don't even seem to care. What kind of company am I working for? If I just chill next to a single car long enough, there's a good chance it will become a suspect I have to chase down. Do they even have any evidence against these people? Then I need to follow the arrow and take down the suspect. If you fail, you'll just continue on as they keep count of your suspects lost. I could lose 1,000 suspects and I'd still be on this job. One thing that's neat in free patrol mode is that you get occasional police chatter.
Control, we're now heading east on Orange Street.
Unless you've already had enough of those people. They do inform you on the streets you are currently driving, which adds a nice touch of detail to the experience. I didn't realize this at first, but there are different starting points for where you can explore as well. Weather conditions and time of day can also be altered, so many options here.
Got him!
The World's Scariest Police Chases is an interesting game to say the least. It basically takes a page from Driver's Book and turns it into a game about being a police officer. I like how the game covers basic training to dealing with many suspects and different mission types. There's a decent amount of missions to do, and I can praise it for its variety. Another thing I like is the siren. It actually works, and along with the gunplay, you do feel like a police officer. The city is fairly big too, and there's a lot to explore if you choose to do so in the free patrol mode. Lastly, John Bunnell's appearance in this game is a welcome addition. He's not a letdown in the slightest. He's always as dramatic as ever, and I love his colourful commentary. It's just a shame he's not used all that much in the game, and that annoys me since he is such a great commentator. Another issue? The driving feels dead to me. The cars are tolerable enough, but anything else is a pain to drive. Also, where's the backup, the constant radio chatter, or the ability to use bike strips? You're basically a lone ranger in this game, and to me, that doesn't fit in with what the police have access to. It ends up feeling like a broke-ass driver game. Not a bad game, but I feel a lot more could have gone into making you really feel like a police officer. As it stands for me, it's only a decent game that needs more refinement. Oh, and it doesn't look that great either, so it's mediocre at best for me. But, Azalea, what do you think of the game from your point of view?
I have never experienced being a police officer, but after playing this game, maybe I have some potential there. Actually, nah. I'll just leave that to the real experts and stick to gaming. Some of these missions were intense and even stressful. To imagine doing this just like in the real show is insane. It's nice being able to have the experience in this game though. You get to save the city, take on the bad guys, and be a hero. But in a more realistic sense. Ultimately, it was fun with a few minor flaws and frustrations. You do get that police chase experience, which is nice. I would really love to see what this game would look like with today's technology. That would be pretty sweet to see. Also, it would be cool if they added some fancy gear or equipment to your vehicles. You could have something similar to the Batmobile. Now that would be awesome. but then it may become more unrealistic. Woo! So now we are ready to help enforce the law. It was awesome to be back here. Thank you for having me, Affro. Make sure you check out my channel, Azalea22, for some colorful Let's Plays and more.
Well guys, that was our look at World's Scariest Police Chases. A decent game that is worth looking at as long as you know it's a game that could be far better, yet is a decent attempt to capture the life of a police officer. It's one of the better games that happens to be based on a TV show. Azalea, thank you for coming back to help me cover this game. Hope you had a lot of fun, and I hope to work with you again in the future. Now, I have a question for you. What do you think of the World's Scariest Police Chases video game? Do you think it's worth a look? Or do you think it looks unimpressive? Let me know, and until next time, me and Azalea will see you in our next videos.
I'll see you later, guys.